is a foam roller release video. So it's for everyone who has a foam roller sitting at home, short or long, and not too sure what to do with it. So we're going to start on our front. So we're going to start with one or both legs on top of the foam roller. So once you're here, you're going to come onto your forearms, so almost like you're going to plank, and we're going to roll across the roller, forwards and backwards. So if you have a short roller like mine, you can do one leg at a time. If you have a longer roller, you can do both legs at the same time. Both legs makes it a little bit more comfortable too, because you share the weight across both legs rather than carrying it all just on one. And from here you can just add some little twists. So if you want to get the outside of the thigh, you can just turn your body slightly and you can come towards the outside, still very much staying on the front of the thigh, but it just gets the outside most portion of that quadriceps muscle. You can also come to the inside thigh from here. So if I show you with my top leg, we come to the quad and then we roll towards the inside, and we're still using that plank position to hold our frame. Any particularly tight spot, so if you find somewhere that feels particularly sore, you can always just hold it with the pressure down here, or bend your knee to increase the stretch, and then you can bring it back down. So any of those movements, holding it in the knee bend and rolling out, and over time, 90 seconds maximum, for each trigger point that you feel, you'll feel it relax. And you want to spend roughly 1 to 2 minutes on each muscle group. Next, we can take that completely onto our side. So you're thinking about the outside of your body. If you step your top leg up and in front, then that can offload you a little bit. You just work on the outside of the underneath leg, rolling up and down the outside of your thigh. This one can be particularly sore. And the important bit when you get to the side, so this fascial layer, so this tissue layer that you're working on here, it doesn't change length so much. What causes it to get tight is often the portion of the muscle at the top of the outside of the thigh. So you want to come just above the bony part of your hip, and you want to try and get right into your hip joint there. So there's the bone of my hip, here's the cup of my pelvis. There's a big thick muscle lying in between those two bony points. And we can roll, we can just hold to trigger point. What's quite nice here is just to roll forwards and backwards. So you can find all of those trigger points through here. And again, any tight knots that you find, you can hold it for up to 90 seconds until they release. A few of my other favourites come into the upper body. So if you start on your hands and knees and you bring the foam roller just to the outside of your mat. And then if you take your furthest arm away from the roller up towards the sky, and then you thread that arm underneath your weight-bearing arm, reach for the roller and then roll away. You can use it as just a little guide, a little assist to just reach and stretch. This really moves the two shoulder blades apart from one another. It wrings out the spine. You lengthen away and twist, wrap into that stretch. And you're just nudging that roller to get deeper and deeper. When the roller's a little bit closer underneath you, so you can bring that to the inside of your weight-bearing arm. Once you've taken that lifted arm across, your back of your shoulder will just meet that roller, and then it's a really nice muscular release down the back of the arm. If you take that even further back around to the back of the shoulder, so I'm keep nudging my roller away, you get coming down into the back of the shoulder blade also. So you can start to feel these lats attachment which come from your waist. And you can just roll backwards and forwards into a nice release. You can continue that with a roller across your mat, and you take your top underneath arm across the roller. And then you can just roll by lifting your waist into a banana stretch. And you get this really nice deep and quite intense release all the way down your waist. So each muscle group we work anywhere between 60 and 120 seconds. And over that time, you should feel it naturally soften, the pressure become less intense, things move up a bit freer. And then the last position I'm going to show you today is lying on your back. So once you're lying on your back, you're going to lift your bottom up and you're going to take your foam roller underneath your bottom. Even hanging out here is quite a nice stretch or release really at the base of your spine. If you take one leg out straight, the other leg up in towards you, you can see how you get that natural stretch and openness from the hip, which is really nice if you spend a lot of your time in sitting or driving. From there, you can then bring both legs up and you can roll over to the one side. And so all of the weight is on my right hip, on my right glute, and anything that's tight through there gets a really nice little juicy trigger point. We can take our legs into circles to really massage that out. We can bring our legs across the body to the opposite side. And we can do the same thing there, work in little circles. Anywhere that feels a little bit tense, using all our body weight against the roller to give it a good release. Finishing with the same thigh stretch on the opposite side, that big quadriceps, that long muscle running down the front of your thigh to your knee, opens up over the top of the roller as you ease the right leg in towards you. And there's heaps of stuff you can keep going with the roller depending on how and where you feel any tightness through your body. Just when you're working with a release tool, just make sure you work on your body symmetrically. So if you do the front, do the back. If you do the side, do the opposite. And that's it.